This is the city that Robert Moses built. New York and the area around it was a very different place before Robert Moses arrived. Over a period of 50 years, from the days of Al Smith through the years of Nelson Rockefeller, as head of city, state, and county commissions and authorities, Robert Moses changed the face of New York. It was Robert Moses who built the Throgs Neck Bridge, and the Bronx Whitestone, and the Verrazano, and the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel. It was Robert Moses who built Jones Beach, virtually the entire Long Island Parkway system, the Henry Hudson Parkway, and the Cross Bronx and Bruckner Expressway.
Of all the federal projects under Robert Moses' control, none would have more devastating consequences for the city and its people, or instill more rage against its executor, than the Cross Bronx Expressway.
It was a neighborhood where everybody knew everybody else. It was a community. It was a place with a heart. Robert Moses tore this heart out.
The Cross Bronx Expressway goes through about 12 or 15 different neighborhoods, and it just like went through the center of a great many. And I mean, the idea was that it was built on a straight line, and there was no account of, you know, who the people are and what they're doing. There was no question of, can we work this highway into existing life? This question never came up in the 1940s or 50s. They had the power to build in straight lines, and they just did.
These were still intact communities. People worked, people kept up their properties, people did business where they lived.
It was Robert Moses who cleared the land for Lincoln Center and the United Nations.
In 1955, the destruction of an entire 13-block neighborhood was begun so that a cultural center could be built. Under Title I slum clearance laws, over 20,000 poor people were removed from their homes in order to make way for Lincoln Center. Who got possession of the land for Lincoln Center? Who had it constructed? And whose culture does it represent? The richest families and the richest corporations in America. The Rockefellers, the Fords, the Morgans, the heads of Standard Oil, Time Incorporated, General Foods, Cuban American Sugar, First National City Bank, Metropolitan Life Insurance, built with money from their tax-exempt foundations, money which should belong to the public. Lincoln Center stands as a monument to private indulgence.
The area that we cleared out for the Fordham expansion downtown, when they needed the college, they couldn't put any more people up at Rose Hill in the Bronx. And they were working with a group of people who were interested in the what is now known as Lincoln Square. Opera, performing arts, every kind of art. And we did it for them. Now I ask you, what was that neighborhood? It was a Puerto Rican slum. Do you remember it?
No, I don't remember.
Yeah, well, I lived on one of those streets there for a number of years, and I know exactly what it was like. It was the worst slum in New York. You wanted to leave it there, why? On account of neighborhood business? Christ, you never could have been there. That was the worst slum in New York, and we cleared it out.
Who built Shea Stadium and the Second World's Fair and the Coliseum. It was Robert Moses who built Kennedy Airport and Co-op City and 600 playgrounds in New York. And when Robert Moses built bridges, he built the roads that led to them. When he built housing units, he built the parks around them. He gained a power unseen before, a power to build what he felt the city needed. He was afraid of no one. He battled the poor of the West Side and the rich of Long Island. And in the end, Robert Moses always won. Robert Moses was a man even presidents feared. Franklin Roosevelt tried to have him removed from power by special order, but he too failed. Robert Moses has been praised as the man who got things done and damned as the man who didn't care what it took to get them done.
We don't pay too much attention to the critics. You never build anything. No critic ever built anything in my knowledge, and they don't bother us. New York has too many critics. We ought to get rid of some of them.